America is a country that has shown great progression and leaps of bounds in all aspects of our society and our daily lives. We have sent men to the moon, machines to Mars, and even wiped deadly diseases off the face of our planet. Sadly, there is one key achievement that we cannot seem to perfect, and that is a healthy diet for the American people. Many of the foods we eat and enjoy on a daily basis are chock full of nitrates, preservatives, chemicals, and artificial sweeteners. With all these additives and toxins present in our food, there is still one that stands out the most to me, and many other Americans, as it has an ability to make food producers rich and devastate our health. The culprit I'm expressing so much concern about is high fructose corn syrup. I hope by the end of this speech, you will come to realize that this sweetener must be banned from our foods and products to protect us and our loved ones. Sadly, with their health on the line, many people fail to understand how serious our situation is regarding this substance. According to dictionary.com, high fructose corn syrup is a corn syrup to which enzymes have been added, changing much of the fructose to glucose, and making it much sweeter than traditional corn syrup. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that sounds safe and sound, right? Sadly, that's where we're all wrong. This dangerous sweetener is derived from corn, but that is where all the natural aspects stop. After the corn is harvested and broken down into cornstarch, from there it is turned into corn syrup. Once converted into corn syrup, enzymes are adding, changing the corn syrup to what we know as high fructose corn syrup. These enzymes are where we start to see the very unnatural combination of glucose at 53%, fructose at 42%, and 5% of other glucose type strains. It is important to note that this chemical sweetener is made in the same types of industries, buildings, and tools that techniques resemble how many chemical companies make their products. Now that we all have a basic understanding of what high fructose corn syrup is, we can start to understand its devastating effects on our body. According to an article on healthline.com, the sweetener is linked to many of America's highest killing problems, such as heart disease, many kinds of cancers, and morbid obesity. In a recent study conducted by Dr. Kimber Stanhope at the University of California, it has shown how this sweetener greatly increases your risk for heart disease. It is also shown how fast your risk increases and the indicators that are immediately detected in your blood after consuming it. By the end of this 2-week study, all 85 participants that consumed drinks sweetened with high fructose corn syrup had a significant increase in their risk for heart disease. Every single person, not just people with pre-existing conditions, not people with sugar sensitivities, but every single person. Not only does this sweetener raise your risk of getting heart disease, it also has been linked to many types of cancer. According to an article released by UT Southwestern Medical Center, colon cancer rates are expected to rise 90% for people in the age group of 20 to 34. Many of these doctors believe that the most powerful catalyst for this age group percentage going up is the overuse of high fructose corn syrup in our sweetened products. It is also very important to note that this product has links to some of the world's most killer cancers, which is pancreatic cancer and liver cancer. On top of these health concerns, high fructose corn syrup has a direct link to obesity. As we all know, obesity is one of the biggest pre-existing conditions to the diseases that ravage our bodies in the first place. Not only does morbid obesity influence our physical state, it also has the ability to affect our mental health and our mental state. Sadly, even with these crippling effects known to the public, there are still issues with getting the substance banned. On top of just that, there has been links to insulin resistance, inflammation in the body, reactive oxygen production, dangers to the intestinal tract, dementia, and even complete liver failure. With so many health risks being increased due to this product, we must ask ourselves, why is this food even allowed for us to be consumed? Sadly, it's the same reason that Americans' health has been exploited time and time again for big corporations to make money. According to an article on Forbes.com, high fructose corn syrup is significantly cheaper than using sugar to sweeten things like soda and sweetened beverages. As a rule, this sweetener is 25% cheaper than sugar and even more during different times of the market. So once again, we are forced to have our health put on the line so big companies can make more money. Economics and scientists also believe that companies use this because it is addictive. Many scientists have claimed that it has the same type of effects on your brain as cocaine. This means on top of high fructose corn syrup being dangerous and destructive to your body, doctors from the Canadian Association of Neurosciences have linked it to being addictive. A good question to ask ourselves, do we really need another substance for our society to be addicted to? Show of this power was done in a laboratory test where mice were given the ability to choose between this sweetener and water. They chose the sweetener every time. Now the most important part of my pro-health argument can finally come into play. Let's just get rid of it. With so much negativity for our health on the line, why don't we just get rid of the poison that has infiltrated us so deeply? Sadly, there's been many walls to climb in the battle to get rid of this, as American doctors and concerned citizens are now on the front line. Many corporations and producers say getting rid of this sweetener can't be done, but me and millions of other people argue that that is not true. Proof of society free of high fructose corn syrup can be seen if we look to other countries around the world and even our own past. There are so many countries that have imposed a ban on this substance. According to an article on theatlantic.com, countries such as Ireland, Austria, Sweden, and India have a complete ban on this being in their products. And many other countries have a ban on high fructose corn syrup related in a production quota era. This means instead of completely shutting it down, which I agree is hard on the economy, producers are limited on how much they can make and which products that it can contain. I believe this is the key stepping stone for America getting off of its high fructose corn syrup addiction. It is only a matter of time until the American people say enough poison in our foods and death in our drinks. But we must always remember that our health is worth the cost, our loved ones' health is worth the cost, and our country's health is worth the cost.